Imagine this, you send them a text, nothing. Hours pass, days pass, and you feel that sinking anxiety. But what if I told you the real power isn't in chasing them, it's in letting them chase you? What if the moment you stop texting, your world shifts and they start seeking your attention, drawn irresistibly to your presence? Today, I'm going to show you how to manifest that energy in your relationships and why doing nothing could actually get you everything you've been longing for. Stop texting them right now. Stop explaining yourself. Stop chasing. Stop begging for attention. Take a deep breath, because what I'm about to reveal is the invisible law that governs attraction, and it works without force. When you cease the endless messages, you're not losing power. You're reclaiming it. You are telling the universe, I am enough, I am complete, and my presence is magnetic. Stop what you are doing for a moment and imagine the very act of letting go. Feel it. Feel your hand hovering over your phone, the words you are about to type frozen in your mind. There is a power in that pause, a tremendous invisible force that most people never understand. You have been conditioned to believe that attention is earned through effort, that messages, explanations, and constant presence are the currency of love and desire. But listen carefully, nothing could be further from the truth. The moment you release the urge to chase, the moment you allow space to exist, something unseen begins to stir. The other person unknowingly starts to notice you in ways they never did before. Every time you send a message out of need, out of fear of absence, you drain your energy into the world and create resistance. You push them away, not draw them near. But the instant you stop, the instant you refuse to participate in the frantic game of proving your worth, a shift occurs. It is subtle yet undeniable. Your absence speaks louder than any message you could send. It is not the silence of neglect. It is the deliberate, conscious act of aligning with your own power. You are no longer reacting to them. You are creating your reality from within. Understand this, the universe responds to your inner state far more than to any external effort. Your mental and emotional energy radiates outward like a magnet. When you stop texting, stop chasing, and stop begging for attention, you are telling the universe and telling yourself that your worth does not depend on anyone else. And it is in this realization that true attraction is born. People are drawn not to need, but to the energy of fulfillment, to the aura of self-possession. When you embody this, they cannot help but feel the pull, the subtle, almost irresistible curiosity that something within them is incomplete, that they are drawn to what you quietly hold. Now, close your eyes for a moment and feel it. Picture yourself in a state of calm, confident detachment. You are engaged in your life, laughing, creating, moving, being alive. And that very space, without any effort, without a single word sent, notice how the world begins to respond. Your absence becomes a presence. The energy you cultivate inwardly is broadcasting outwardly, invisible yet powerful. It calls them toward you. It whispers of your essence, of the completeness you carry, and they cannot resist investigating, pursuing, seeking what they sense, but cannot yet touch. This is the art of non-resistance. It is not about manipulation or strategy. It is about knowing who you are and holding that reality firmly within yourself. It is about understanding that desire is not forced through action, but drawn through being. When you stop trying to control, when you stop reacting from lack, the natural laws begin to work for you. The mind of another becomes pliable, not because you insist upon it, but because your inner certainty broadcasts an irresistible truth. You are enough, you are complete, and your life does not depend on anyone else's acknowledgement. Every heartbeat, every breath, every moment you choose non-resistance over chasing, you are quietly rewriting the story. They may notice it immediately, or the pull may grow slowly, but it is inevitable. The universe, responding to your inner state, orchestrates circumstances, thoughts, and feelings that align perfectly with your unspoken desire. And all of this begins simply by stepping back, by refusing to resist the natural flow, by trusting the unseen and the powerful current of your own inner reality. And as you move through your life with this quiet confidence, with the freedom of non-resistance, Notice how your energy begins to shift. It is no longer scattered in anxious attempts to draw someone toward you. It is focused, intentional, luminous. This is the power of energy alignment. The universe does not respond to frantic texts or repeated messages. It responds to the frequency you emit, the vibration of your being. Every thought, every feeling, every moment of attention directed inward shapes the world around you. When your focus is on your own joy, on your own fulfillment, you become magnetic in a way that effort could never achieve. Many people do not realize that trying harder, pushing more, or overextending oneself only creates tension. Tension is visible to the other person, subtle though it may be. It communicates lack, it communicates need, it communicates a life incomplete without their acknowledgement. But when you shift your attention, when you immerse yourself in your own world, in your own passions, your own moments of creation and pleasure, something extraordinary happens. You are no longer responding from need. You are emanating abundance. You are broadcasting a signal that says, I am already complete. I am already whole. I am already radiant. And it is this signal, not words or actions, that calls them toward you. Picture yourself waking each day fully alive, fully engaged, without the weight of expectation pressing upon your heart. You move through the world with curiosity, with laughter, with the effortless confidence of one who knows that they are already desired. In this state, every glance from the other person, every thought they have of you is intensified. They feel your presence not as a demand, but as an invitation, a mystery that draws them in, compelling them to seek you without your intervention. The more aligned you are with your own inner fulfillment, the stronger the pull becomes. Understand that your imagination and your feeling of abundance are the tools that shape this reality. It is not enough to act confident outwardly while your mind churns with worry. True energy alignment is cultivated from the inside out. You must feel with every fiber of your being that you are complete, that your life is full, that your joy does not hinge on another's attention. When you do this, when you live in that vibrational state, you are not chasing, they are moving toward you. Drawn by the invisible force of your inner radiance, even mundane moments, drinking your coffee, walking through the park, engaging with your passions become opportunities to reinforce this energy. Every thought of lack or need replaced with gratitude, every fear of absence replaced with faith, strengthens the magnetic force around you. They sense it. You cannot hide the energy of a life fully lived. It resonates across distance. It penetrates consciousness. It awakens desire without your conscious effort. And notice how this energy interlaces with the power of non-resistance. The more you refrain from chasing, the more your focus turns inward. And the more you align with your own inner reality, the stronger your presence becomes. Effort is replaced by attraction. The universe conspires in your favor, orchestrating situations, thoughts, and coincidences that pull them closer, all while you remain immersed in the fullness of your own being. You are not demanding, not pleading, not trying to earn their notice. You are simply existing as the vibrant, self-possessed individual they cannot resist, and that alone is enough to make them seek you out. And as you move within this state of alignment, you begin to notice a truth that most overlook: control is an illusion. All those frantic attempts to direct their attention, to manage their thoughts, to predict their feelings, are nothing but shadows on the wall. The mind believes that action equals outcome, that effort equals influence, yet every moment you spend trying to control another person's experience is a moment you give away your own power. True power, the kind that draws them irresistibly, is found not in manipulation, not in persuasion, but in the surrender to the invisible currents of life and your own inner world. Consider this. When you chase, when you text, when you seek their immediate response, you are attempting to dictate reality from outside yourself. And yet, the universe does not respond to external pressure. It responds to the state within you. Each need-driven action, each anxious thought communicates limitation, lack, and dependence. But when you recognize that control is illusory, a transformation begins. You stop measuring the moments, Stop strategizing. Stop projecting your fears onto another's mind. And in that stillness, a quiet authority emerges. They sense it even before they consciously understand it. Your calm certainty, your trust in the unseen becomes more compelling than any text, any call, any effort to assert influence. It is here, in the recognition of your own sovereignty, that desire flourishes naturally. They feel the invisible threads that pull them toward you, threads that cannot be tangled or broken by your attempts to control outcomes. You exist in your inner world, vivid, alive, complete, and the universe mirrors that completeness outward. They are drawn not because you insist, but because your reality radiates a truth they cannot resist. You are whole, your attention is abundant, and your energy is unbound by need. Imagine this. Instead of reacting to every delayed response, every unreturned message, you immerse yourself in the richness of your own life. You create, you explore, you feel the fullness of your imagination and your passions. In this state, the very notion of control becomes unnecessary. The law governing attraction does not operate on your insistence. It operates on your alignment. Your inner world is the seed. Their awareness is simply the soil responding. The more you invest in the garden of your own reality, the more the world blooms around you, and they are compelled to come, drawn by the fragrance of your life fully lived. And this illusion of control ties seamlessly to the power of energy alignment and non-resistance. The less you push, the more your energy flows naturally. The less you chase, the more your presence calls. The more you trust the unseen, the more vivid your inner reality becomes, and the more magnetically irresistible you are. Every anxious attempt to orchestrate their attention is replaced with a quiet, potent knowing that your imagination, your feelings, your inner alignment are far more influential than any outward action. Now, let this sink in. The desire you seek is not conjured by control or strategy. It is awakened by your mastery of your own inner state. It is amplified when you relinquish the illusion of needing to direct their path. They are drawn because your being resonates with completeness, with unshakable certainty, with a vibrant, effortless authority. And as this awareness deepens, you realize that control was never necessary. The natural flow of your aligned energy, your unresisting presence, carries them to you more surely than any effort ever could. And once you release the illusion of control, once you allow your energy to align and your presence to radiate, you are ready to step into a power even greater than any action you could take, the power of your imagination. For it is not in messages, not in calls, not in explanations that desire is awakened. It is in the vivid reality you create within your own mind. The mind cannot distinguish between what is imagined with feeling and what is experienced externally. Every detail you picture, every sensation you immerse yourself in, plants a seed that the universe cannot ignore. Begin to see them in your imagination, not as a distant hope, not as someone you chase, but as someone already drawn to you, someone already seeking your presence. Picture the sparkle in their eyes as they think of you, the smile that forms when your name crosses their mind, the subtle shifts in their world that guide them toward your reality. Do not dwell in lack. Do not imagine the struggle or the distance. Instead, immerse yourself in the fullness of what you desire, as though it has already come to pass. Feel it in your body. Feel the warmth of their attention, the thrill of connection, the certainty that they are drawn to you effortlessly. This is not fantasy, it is law. Every imagined scene infused with feeling becomes a vibration that radiates outward, calling forth circumstances, thoughts and responses that mirror your inner state. When you engage in this practice daily, when you allow your mind to dwell in the reality you wish to experience rather than the absence you fear, you are constructing the invisible architecture of attraction. Your imagination is the blueprint, and reality will follow the pattern you have impressed upon it. Notice how this integrates with the principles already awakened within you. Non-resistance, energy alignment, and the release of control are all necessary to prepare the fertile ground for imagination to work. If your mind is clouded with anxiety, need, or attempts to control, the scenes you picture lose power. But when you are aligned, calm and centered in your own fulfillment, your mental imagery becomes irresistible. It is no longer an act of wishing. It is an act of knowing. You do not hope they come. You see them coming. You do not plead for attention. You feel it flowing toward you naturally. Every detail matters. Imagine the laughter you will share, the ease of conversation, the unspoken recognition of desire that passes between you. Imagine their thoughts turning to you spontaneously, their world organizing itself in ways that bring them closer. Engage all your senses, hear their voice, sense their energy, feel the subtle pull of connection. Allow your imagination to saturate every fiber of your being and know that this inner reality is shaping the outer one with perfect fidelity. And the beauty of this is that it does not require effort or anxiety. It does not rely on chasing, on messaging, or on trying to orchestrate outcomes externally. It is a quiet, sovereign act, occurring entirely within the sanctuary of your own consciousness. It amplifies the power of non-resistance and energy alignment. It makes the release of control not just comfortable but potent, and it all allows the universe to respond in ways you could never engineer through action alone. By mastering this practice, you step fully into the truth that the world responds first and foremost to the reality you entertain within. Desire, attention, and pursuit are drawn to the energy you radiate from your inner world, and through vivid mental imagery, you become both the architect and the magnet of your own experience. And as you become fluent in the language of your imagination, as you feel the pull of your inner reality shaping the world outside, there arises a subtle but powerful truth. Detachment is the ultimate magnet. It is the quiet surrender, the effortless knowing, the letting go of need that awakens desire more profoundly than any pursuit ever could. When you no longer cling, when you no longer measure your worth by the attention of another, a curious thing happens. They begin to notice you with intensity. They are drawn not to your words, not to your effort, but to the freedom, the fullness, and the certainty that radiates from your detached state. Detachment is not indifference. It is not coldness or absence of feeling. It is the profound understanding that your life is already complete, that your joy is self-generated, that your value is inherent. When you operate from this space, the other person becomes aware of a presence that is untouchable by need. They feel the invisible force of your confidence, the magnetism of your inner stability, and they are compelled to respond, to seek, to pursue, not because you chase them, but because your being vibrates with something they cannot resist. Reflect on all that we have uncovered: non-resistance, the alignment of your energy, the release of control, the vividness of your imagination. Detachment is the natural culmination of these practices. It is a space in which they take shape fully, the fertile ground in which the seeds of attraction blossom. When you detach, you are not withdrawing your love or your attention. You are simply allowing the universe to respond to the reality you hold within. You no longer attempt to manufacture outcomes externally. Instead, you let your inner state dictate the movement of events, and it is astonishing how naturally desire converges upon you. Now feel the paradox. The less you need, the more you are sought. The less you chase, the more you are pursued. There is a mysterious alchemy in this. Neediness repels, detachment attracts. As you embody the reality of being complete and content within yourself, you generate a force that cannot be resisted. The other person begins to think of you, to notice your absence, to feel the pull of your presence, and to move in ways you once believed required effort or manipulation. All of this occurs because you have aligned yourself with the natural flow, because you have ceased to resist, and because you have mastered the art of living inwardly rather than reacting outwardly. Imagine your days now filled with laughter, with creation, with passion, with the simple joy of being. Notice how your inner satisfaction grows, how your confidence deepens, how your magnetic pull strengthens. With every moment you live fully without need. The more present you are in your own world, the more the other is drawn into yours. Every interaction, every glance, every thought of them towards you is intensified by the quiet, radiant energy of detachment. And understand this, detachment does not mean passivity. It does not mean waiting with resignation. It is a dynamic state of inner certainty. It is the conscious choice to live from your own abundance, to hold your inner reality as primary, and to allow external events to unfold naturally. This is the secret to attraction. It is not effort, it is being. It is not pursuit, it is alignment. It is not need, it is detachment. In this state, desire awakens effortlessly, attention flows freely, and the one you imagine as distant becomes irresistibly drawn to the life you are already living. And as you dwell in this state of detachment, as your inner reality hums with completeness, confidence, and alignment, there emerges the final, most potent principle, faith. Not faith in someone else's actions, not faith in circumstances, but unwavering faith in the reality of your own inner state and the invisible law that mirrors it outward. Faith is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. It is the quiet knowing that what you have impressed upon your consciousness is already unfolding, even if your senses have yet to confirm it. Feel this now. Every vivid scene you have imagined, every emotion you have felt, as if your desire were already fulfilled, is alive and active. The universe responds not to the anxiety of waiting, not to the questioning mind, but to the certainty that emanates from unwavering faith. When you no longer doubt, when you no longer waver between hope and fear, you become a conduit for the life you wish to see. The mind that is fully convinced, fully aligned, and fully surrendered broadcasts a frequency that cannot be ignored. They feel it, the world responds to it, and reality bends to accommodate the state you persistently inhabit. This faith is not passive. It is active, alive, and deliberate. It is cultivated through imagination, sustained through detachment, and amplified through the conscious alignment of your energy. Each day, immerse yourself in the feeling of your desired reality as though it's present now. Hear their voice, sense their energy, see the world arranging itself to bring them closer. Live as if it has already happened. Allow no space for doubt, no room for fear. In this state, the invisible becomes visible, and what once seemed distant or unattainable flows effortlessly into your experience. Consider how this principle intertwines with all that has come before. Non-resistance allows the energy to flow without blockage. Alignment magnifies your magnetic presence. Releasing control clears the path forward. Key to respond naturally. Vivid imagination impresses your desired reality upon the unseen. Detachment strengthens the invisible pull. And faith completes the cycle. It is the unwavering trust that your inner reality is sovereign, that your feelings shape the outer world, and that the life you have already imagined must manifest. Without faith, the unseen remains inert. With faith, the unseen is compelled to respond, bending time, space, and circumstance to your consciousness. Feel the certainty of it now. Feel it in your body, in your heart, in your mind. Know that your thoughts, your feelings, and your aligned energy are the architects of reality. The other person, drawn by the magnetism of your being, moves naturally toward you. The circumstances align with your inner state. Every interaction, every glance, every thought of them directed toward you is a reflection of the faith you carry within. It is effortless, yet absolute. It is quiet, yet unstoppable. Understand that this is the culmination of the journey you have undertaken. You no longer chase, no longer manipulate, no longer react from lack. You imagine, you align, you detach, and above all, you believe without question. This faith is the invisible current that carries desire into form. It is the truth that makes all the previous steps not only meaningful but irresistible. Through faith, the imagined becomes real. Through faith, they come to you. Through faith, the life you have held within your consciousness manifests with perfect fidelity.